Hi guys. I am Julie. Welcome to the channel Bollywood King. Here in this channel I react to some interesting Shah Rukh Khan videos. Today I want to react to the interview where Shah Rukh Khan talks about being detained in US airport. As most of you would know, in 2009 Shah Rukh Khan was detained in US airport for 2 days and it of course caused some debates in India. He talks about the same in this interview. I hope you will enjoy the interview. Let's start.
Hello and welcome to the CNN IBN special where we are joined by the newsmaker of the week. He's making the headlines, this time for not what he does on screen, but what he does off it. One and only Shah Rukh Khan. Impossible to keep you out of the headlines, but that's the way you are.
I step out and I become headline.
You enjoy it, huh? It almost seems as if Shah Rukh revels in the moment.
I start enjoying it because if you can't fight it, then you join it and it's okay. Now this is going to happen. This is the life I've chosen, Rajdeep. And I can't do anything about it.
But the reasons in a sense why this time you're making the headlines have led to some adverse publicities. Critics are saying that Shah Rukh Khan, the entire detention in America has been hyped by Shah Rukh himself as some kind of a publicity for your film, My Name is Khan. It's part of Shah Rukh's attempt to remain in the news. How do you react as a film star to that?
As a matter of fact, to be really honest, I'm averse to being in front of news when I'm not really doing it for my film. My film is coming much later. It's 8-9 months. Normally, you don't start a publicity of a film. Second, it's not very positive that your question somebody asks you for vouching for you to enter somebody else's wonderful country. And I think it's a little disrespectful. I wouldn't use that as a part of publicizing myself. Neither I'm the kind of person. And those who say this and think like this, maybe they believe and design things like that.
No, but people are detained. People are detained and questioned in American airports post 9/11. It's a regular practice. Why suddenly should Shah Rukh Khan take it as a personal affront? Was it that how can you detain me, Shah Rukh Khan?
No. I don't think so. I'm very humble about who I am. I speak in only third person when I'm talking about my acting. Otherwise, I'm very...
Those who usually speak in third person are supposedly vain. But no, we
yeah, that vanity I have, but only for acting. But personally, I don't have issues. I'm a very scared of rules and law-abiding kind of guy. And I have had many instances that you mentioned, like all of us must have had, and everyone has, when you go to America post 9/11, that I have been subjected to very thorough special security checks. This is first time immigration. And secondly, I have a simple thing that when I apply for a visa here, they take my fingerprints, they take my retina scan. And I actually entered America, which I don't know, is it illegal and I get caught for it? But I'm the only person who's gone to America in the last 4 days, come back without my fingerprint taken. They will have it on record that it's not there. And my retina scan not done. And they kept on asking me that my name is common. And that's why we're questioning you.
So what was it? What was it that made Shah Rukh Khan, who as you say in the past has also been subject to questioning at American airports, suddenly this time believe that this was way too much? What went out of line? Where did you snap? It seemed almost as if you snapped
No,
this time.
I didn't snap at all. I didn't even know that it has taken this kind of momentum. I called a friend who's perhaps related to the media. And obviously, when you call friend or family, they get, what happened? Kya ho gaya? And I went for my work. I came back at 2 a.m. in the morning and I had calls from all over the channels, yours being the first one. And I don't know if you remember, I was quite funny about the interview. I mean, to me, it wasn't something, I hadn't taken as a personal affront. I hadn't taken it as something that...
You didn't see it as a major issue at the time?
No,
when it happened?
Not at all. I don't
you were upset. Come on. Shah Rukh, now be honest. There was some...
I'm upset by
you
waiting
were
for
angry or upset?
No. I wasn't angry. I was disturbed, and I said. And I felt a little, come on, the kind of questions you're asking is not going to figure out, is this the right way for me to
What was the question that troubled you?
They were asking me that somebody has to vouch for my entry into America and if I knew any Americans. And I had to give telephone numbers of friends and business associates. And I was hoping they don't call because it's a little embarrassing. Like I said, the things that they're supposed to check, they haven't checked. There were 20 people, including an immigration officer, who said very loudly that I vouch for Shah Rukh Khan. Shah Rukh Khan, I vouch for you. Kept on pointing at me in front of everyone, all his immigrants. Shah Rukh Khan, I vouch for you. Arey, Shah Rukh Khan, I vouch for you. So I'm like, it's a little embarrassing.
So there were people there who knew who you were, and yet they were questioning you repeatedly. Was it somewhere that you felt that I'm being questioned because of my surname? That had you been, for example, a Hindu name, you wouldn't have been questioned. Was it that factor? Somewhere subterranean, deep down inside, is there this feeling that I'm being looked at suspiciously because I'm a Muslim?
I am, and I've accepted that for the last few years. That's okay. I'm absolutely all right by that. I have no issues because I'm very pragmatic. I think...
You've internalized that? You believe that you are looked at differently in America?
Absolutely. My children are. I am. I'm always, like I've said, I don't wear belts. I go, I stand, and I know it. I smile at it. And, like I look at the other guys who are going in the other line. I'm all right with it. I've explained it to my kids also. And they came and told me very clearly, the only thing they came and told me, the supervisor was, and very sweetly, that, sir, your name is very common. It has popped up on our computer, and it will take 15, 20 minutes more. So I said, okay, and I understand that. I'm assuming Shah Rukh is not common. It must be the surname.
No, so therefore, were you offended because you felt Shah Rukh Khan, the film star, everybody knows me, people here at the airport know me, yet they're questioning me? Was it the fact that they're looking at the color of my skin and then deciding whether to question me? Was it the fact that my surname is Khan, hence they're questioning me? Where was your problem with this entire exercise?
None of these considerations came into my mind, I'll be very honest. I didn't think they're questioning me, and I felt violated as an Indian. I didn't feel violated as a Muslim. I just felt a little ill at ease as a human being.
But this happens to lots of human beings, Shah Rukh. There are lots of human beings who get frisked.
I can't really understand what the journalist wants to get from Shah Rukh Khan. He just keeps saying that it happens to everyone. But what the hell? Everyone has the right to feel disturbed for it. Why can't he feel disturbed?
And I'm sure they feel disrespected. But they just can't talk to you, or they just can't talk to anyone.
And it doesn't just happen in America, it happens in India. I had someone in my office who's a young Muslim who was questioned by the railway police for a couple of hours. Now, obviously, there are people from the Northeast who've come to me and said that they're looked at differently in this country. Racial profiling does take place in this country as well. This is a larger problem. Is Shah Rukh Khan only one little, in a sense, a symbol of a wider problem?
No, I actually feel, I was very overwhelmed with the way the media has reacted, because I got to know about it much later. I think the reason that people have taken it on is not because of me. I think there exists an issue like this. And I'm not an excuse, but okay.
And exists an issue vis-a-vis America specifically?
No, I think the world, like you said, even in India maybe. Why should we? Somebody was asking me today, should America change their policy? I said, no, we do that in India also.
Would you feel the same level of anger if someone whom you knew in this country was checked by an officer in the same way?
No, I wasn't angry then. I won't be angry now. I just explain it. This is the truth that we have created. This is the world we have created, and we have to live by it. There is no issue, like I was just saying. I have an issue with the systems and processes of an advanced country which has set it up in place. I think it's outdated, outmoded. You please get it right done, because you cannot keep on questioning the same people every 10, 15, 20 days.
So it's the paranoia that America has that troubles you about America?
Oh yeah, that is a separate issue from this. If you're just asking me an opinion.
You're saying America has to change. You're saying it's outdated, outmoded. What is it?
They are 100% paranoid.
How does it have to change? What is it that you want to see America change? America says that post 9/11, our security systems have to be such that we want to ensure against another 9/11 happening. Hence, we are hence our security systems are
and not only at their borders, but even outside they go and make sure everything is all set. My logic is very simple, that, all the good and bad that happens in this world happens because of all the countries. One country cannot be isolated and isolate itself and say, we'll check everything, and this is a personal opinion.
That's our law. Those are our security procedures. America will say these are our security. If you want to come to America,
absolutely.
You've got to follow our security procedures.
I fully respect that, and I'm going there. That's why I don't want an apology from anyone, because I chose to go to America.
That's right.
And it's my choice, and I know what will happen there. I'm educated enough to understand that. But as just a general issue when I'm talking, I truly believe that America is rather isolated and believes that, they can take control of the world in terms of being the protectors. They're not. Because I'm very clear that, I'm talking about a larger issue, not about just the immigration, but I'm very clear that, and people say in India we don't have security checks, that's why the problems happen. But I'm very clear that nobody can tell me that, there is one nation which is going to control this. Look inside you, get your systems in place, and, make everybody feel happy.
No, but those are their systems. Those are the American systems. The problem in India perhaps is our security systems are not tough enough. In fact, our security system, the criticism is that if it's a Shah Rukh Khan or if it's a big politician, you can just walk through Delhi or Mumbai airport and they won't check you because you're a VIP. There was a feeling perhaps that that there is a VIP culture in this country which must end. Everyone must stand in queues, everyone must be frisked. whether you're in India or in America.
Rajdeep, wherever I go, whether it's the Mumbai airport, which I go more often than the Delhi one, I always stand in queues. I make my children stand in queues.
You don't believe in the VIP culture?
I have never called a person and said, please get me inside faster to any place, including a nightclub. I go, I take my passport if I need to give my identification. I don't assume, even in India, that if they say, tell me that I give you identification, I'd say, don't you know who I am? I don't need to do that. I've never done that in my life.
You've never been, you never said,
never
did you ever say it at that, when you were being detained, did you ever say to any of those officers, don't you know who I am?
No, see, if you have to say that, then you're not well known enough. I would never, I'd die before saying something like this.
What nonsense. I can't imagine Shah Rukh Khan saying to someone, don't you know who I am? And how beautifully Shah Rukh Khan answered him saying, I'll die before saying something like that.
Scared. Actually, I'm a little odd with people with different language and accents. So I kept quiet. I just stood there. And I've been subjected to the security like this. Once or twice before, I tried to joke with them. And they sort of got a little riled at it. So I'm like, listen, like I was saying, once they asked me, do you know anyone else in America? I was going to say, Obama's very popular in India. But I didn't say it. I said, you won't take it rightly. So I said, no, I don't know, sir. And I called them sir.
But look at it the other way, Shahrukh. A couple of months ago, former President Kalam gets frisked in this country, Continental Airways. We only come to know about it a couple of months ago, not because Kalam makes a hue and cry, but simply because there comes a document which suggests this happened. Kalam seemed to be okay with the idea of frisking. Everyone else around them seemed to see it as an issue of national pride being hurt. Do you believe that these are issues on which national pride is hurt if Kalam is frisked? The man himself has no problem.
I don't think an amazingly graceful gentleman like him would anyway be disturbed. He's too far beyond all of us, though I think it's a wrong thing. Again, the issue comes back to that, he's a head of state. People should have known of him.
He's a former head of state. Anyone should be frisked.
Yeah, I think so. Everybody should be frisked. I don't have any questions about that it should not be frisked. And they should be frisked whether they're Muslims or Hindus or X or Y, Indian or Chinese or French. They should be frisked. I have no issues with that at all.
The worry is, and the media perhaps is partly responsible for it, is that Shah Rukh Khan gets detained. It almost seems as if America has committed an act of sin or treason against India.
I don't think so. No, not at all.
This is racism. Did you see it as racism?
No, I don't.
Be honest. Did you in some way see that the color of your skin is determining how long you're going to be detained in that room?
No, I don't see it as the color of my skin or the color of my religion. But yes, like
but you're saying that the Americans do at some levels feel paranoid about those who come from outside.
We're used to it. It's not something that we complain about because, like you said, it's the system. They say this color and this religion will be frisked a little more than the other color and other religions. We're used to it, and we choose to go there, in spite of it. So obviously, we have to be ready for it. So I don't think it's racist. We should not give it such a strong connotation because, like you said, and you said media is a bit responsible. I also feel people overreact to a situation like this when a public personality is concerned because maybe the issue is real and people do wish to talk about it, but they can't talk about a normal guy. So I get used for everything. So it's nice.
But you've got an Ambika Soni immediately after you were detained saying, we should resort to a tit for tat policy with the Americans, that we should also frisk any American VIP who comes through. Do you believe this is the kind of language that should be used?
I don't know about the language, but the passion, I think, sort of states that we should also have as harsh security systems as America has in its own country, like you said. And if we want us to be protected, then we should also frisk everyone, fair, brown, black, Muslim, Jewish, Christian. Make them stand in a line and say everybody should have, why don't we have a retina scan? So I think the passion with which she said it, I guess she means that, and it should be put in place like you also mentioned.
It's a strange situation where for a couple of days this was the biggest story. Now you're saying it's a non-issue. You're almost saying that, look, it's not troubled me at all. And yet there's a feeling that...
No, I felt disrespected because, see, I never made this a story. I called a few people because I thought I should be taken care of by the Indian consulate. And by the time I got back to my room...
At no stage did you want this to become a big media story?
I have no issue with that. I didn't want to talk about it. Suddenly I got a call from one lady from who I know. And she said, what happened? So I'm like, nothing. I was just passing through. She said, nahi, hum to bade nervous ho gaye. And I was like, no, it's not such a big thing.
No, but then you were reacting at various places in America. No, you come back to India and reacted. Obviously something somewhere.
No, I did because when I saw all the calls...
If you're saying this is not a big issue for it, you're still making a big deal out of it somewhere. Wherever you went in America, you did mention it.
I spoke about it to you guys first, and I did because I didn't want any misunderstanding to be there that, I've been detained or arrested or XYZ or something harsh has happened. Even in the first interview, I said they were polite, they spoke to me, they asked me questions which were not really very official or proper, I thought. But that's the system and they'll do it.
No, but if it isn't such a big issue, you're even talking about the fact that it's not a country that you enjoy visiting.
Yeah.
But at the same time, work will take you there.
Oh, I think it's a wonderful country. Technology, really nice to work there in films. It's wonderful, yeah.
No,
Work takes you there.
it's almost like as if Shah Rukh Khan wants the best of both worlds, it seems. You believe at one level it's an issue that has personally injured you. You do believe that the Americans are paranoid. At the same time, Shah Rukh Khan is saying, look, it's
I'm
not
pragmatic and I'm a little idealistic about this. That I do believe that for security reasons, things should happen like this. They should be strict. Ideally, I would like people who are not part of that should not get affected. But as far as a personal thing is concerned, I don't enjoy going to America. But work will take me, like you have to go to CNN every once in a year. It will take me. I am doing a film there, for God's sake. So I have to go. I don't like going and having a holiday there. And whenever I do get invited to America, I try to avoid it because of these reasons. And I had to go. It was a commitment. Next time, if I have 10 jobs, I'll go and try and do it in 2 days and come back.
What's the big lesson you've learned from all this? Is it that, whatever you do is going to become a media story? So you may innocently speak to somebody, but you've got to be aware that Shah Rukh Khan detained is a big story for India. I mean, you're a very clever man. You couldn't have been that naive, Shah Rukh, to believe that it wouldn't be a big story. The fact that Shah Rukh Khan is detained would always be a big story in India. Were you conscious of that or not?
Not as much as it is, but I knew once I got to know in the room that, there are 450 missed calls, so it is a big story, and I want to clarify that. But that's okay. I mean, even if I take the thought of, because now everybody would feel, as you are saying or suggesting, that, you want the best of both worlds. No, I think if you ask me personally...
That you revel almost in the idea of being in this...
You don't revel being disrespected whichever place you go to. There is no revelry in this. And I
being
think,
in the limelight, being in the spotlight.
I do that. I've done 70 films and I have enough limelight. I don't need to be reveling in limelight where I'm disrespected and talked about, even if it's not religious and even if it's not about being an Indian, even if it's not about being a brown-skinned person. Just as a human being, if somebody is going to talk to me like this, I think it's a huge amount of disrespect. And then it cannot be hidden under the garb that, it's a system. And you choose to go there. Yeah, I felt disrespected. I think it's not a good enough system for me. I will not go there if I can avoid it.
What have you told your children about it? Because I know you're close to your children. What have you told them about it? I mean, they must have seen those headlines, Papa detained. They must have thought, God, what is Papa done wrong?
My son was rather excited that he thought I'd been caught and was disappointed that I wasn't. My daughter was very happy that I also get detention. But I've explained to them that the name that we have, and when we travel to certain parts of the world, we will be checked extra, and it's all right. It's a part of a rule. Okay,
then let me come when you say that the name that you have, you will always be checked extra. I remember talking to you after 26/11 in Mumbai, and you did say somewhere that you were wrestling almost with these various notions of Islam and trying to find, in a sense, find your identity. As a Muslim, you believe that you seemed angry with those who were using religion for violence. Do you believe that this image that is stuck, that if you're a Khan, that the Americans seem to have, if you're a Khan, then you've got to look at...
Or a Muhammad.
Or a Muhammad, whether in America or even in this country, or even, I come back to it, even in this country. Does that, in a sense, somewhere, subconsciously prey on your mind?
No, it has numbed me now. When a reality like this is there for 4 years, or 5 years, or 6 years,
whether
or 7
in India
years,
or in the West.
Anywhere. I think you say, okay, I keep saying this to everyone. We have chosen this. And it's not that you and I have chosen this, the world has chosen at large. And this is the way we are going to be. And
because there are lots of Aam Admis who are not Shah Rukh Khan, but who simply may have a surname like Khan or Muhammad, who could also be detained in India or, simply because of their surname, or in America, and won't have your clout, perhaps even, they won't be there for 2 hours, they'll be there for the whole day.
Maybe longer. Maybe they'll be put in jail. But this is the world that we have. And if you want these systems and processes to go on, it is going to be like this. And my thought about this is very, very clearly that we can't, you should not let it disturb you, because somewhere down the line, the reality is that there is this perception about 2 parts in the world. And that is a perception that will continue to be so.
So we have a clash of civilizations in the sense where we're coming back to the argument of a clash of civilizations where, in a sense, Shah Rukh Khan has been caught in the middle of it, the way the Americans see the world versus the way perhaps we see America today. My final question, what's the big lesson then that you as a person have learned out of the last few days? Has it changed you in any way?
Yeah, I've learned my lesson earlier. that there are parts of the world that perhaps I'm not very welcome in because of the country I come from maybe, or the area I come from, or the name that I have. So I should try and avoid it if it's not really essential. I cannot be impractical and say, or egoistic, because then it would be that Shah Rukh Khan doesn't go to America. I can't be egoistic and say, मैं तो यहाँ कभी जाऊँगा ही नहीं, because I have to go there for work once in a way. But if I can avoid it, I would. And hopefully, by the time the kids grow up, they won't have issues like this. Or, there might be a time when you have to change your names. So, you have to be worried that maybe you'll have to change your name. I'll have to. And the whole identity thing that we believe in so much may take a, fall on his head.
Shah Rukh Khan, always a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Eddie.
I felt angry actually while watching the interview, but still Shah Rukh Khan could make me to smile in some places. One just can't avoid to be amazed by Shah Rukh Khan's answers, his intelligence. He had become professional on dealing with nonsenses because, as it was said at the beginning of the interview, it is impossible to keep him out of the headlines. I felt extremely angry when the journalist said that Shah Rukh Khan was accused of using this event as part of attempts to remain in the news. How can they even think like that? As if Shah Rukh Khan needs any extra attempts to remain in the news. It is you guys that need his name for your news. Besides, I was angry with the journalist as he tried to prove that Shah Rukh Khan deliberately hyped the events. But still, I enjoyed the interview because Shah Rukh Khan's answers were amazing. Thank you for watching, and please, write down below what you think about the interview. Don't forget like, share and subscribe. See you.